or a moment where our pink-haired heroines plan to slowly sway the MC out of the friend zone, Chinatsu goes full maid. You never go full maid unless you wanna serve the MC with a hot date. And so our Hooper heroine puts out all the stops to find herself with another memorable date as the pink-haired Snow White continues to make things complicated. For this video, we will be covering Blue Box Episode 19, Yote Arenda. For this video, as we go through the recap, I want you guys to pay attention to what's happening around Taiki and Chinatsu. It's that nerve-wracking day of the week. It's time to perform. Performing while in competition is one thing, but managing an entire play in a high school festival is a whole other animal that Taiki must navigate through. If you're living life like nothing unexpected is gonna happen, you're living it wrong, because being flexible is necessary if you want things to go right. And so Taiki is being forced to start the play 10 minutes earlier, like it's the end of the world. But it does make everyone else have to speed up. Young Taiki strolls through the hallway to see the girl that he likes and notices he ain't the only one. Unlike Taiki, the NPC doesn't have the balls to turn into his own main character, and so he can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that's one less competitor. Taiki pulls up to the Snow White squad and finds Hina dressed to impress for the audience. Nina plays wing woman and tells Taiki to say something, but all he can muster up is a little blush, no eye contact, and like, it's alright, I guess. Nina tries to get Taiki to
Stop playing so coy.
but Hina makes an escape. Young confusing love. Running away from your feelings is delaying the reality you'll eventually have to face. Like Kyo, Nina has to get her own sense of how Taiki really feels, and it's looking pretty not bad, but not great either. So I guess there's a chance. Mama Inomata is beside herself that her little boy Taiki is going off for a run early in the morning when it's Culture Festival Day. But if Taiki wants to make it to Nationals, an adjusted morning routine without the gym that is shut down is a must. And so he goes off into the sunrise and right into his beloved hard-working counterpart, Chinatsu senpai. Taiki pulls on Mama Inomata and tells Chinatsu she could have taken the day off, but Taiki is just being a hypocrite right now. Inspired by his practice victory over Yusa, he doesn't want to fall behind again, and it's that intense match against Yusa that made Chinatsu as motivated and inspired as ever. I mean, they should just date already. Looks get you in the door, but natural inspiration to become better from a significant other is forever. After showing off her hoop skills to Taiki, Chinatsu just casually asks Taiki out on a rendezvous to see some second years perform in the band that they heard just the other day, with just the two of them together, moving and grooving at 2 o'clock. That's an unfortunate timing for a break, but your boy just can't say no when all he wants to say is yes,
Yes, yes.
and just like that, it's technically a date. Taiki just keeps leveling up out of nowhere. That's what happens when you become a winner. Kishi! Unlike that NPC that doesn't want to become a main character in his own body, Kishi will never quit. Ultimately, Kishi's character is one big learning lesson for another episode, or another time in a future arc. However, as we can see here, his interest in Chinatsu is one losing battle, as Taiki will forever shuttlecock block him. And who do we have here? What Taiki's future can look like. The perfect role model couple in Haru and Karen. Karen is like the teaser for Chinatsu as she brings both Taiki and Kishi to the cafe where Chinatsu is working at for the festival.
Irashaimase.
Taiki and Kishi, they go down in a room filled where the ratio of shuttlecocks keeps going up. All the girls are dressed to impress to make the boys rise to the occasion. Who's going to have the balls to make their moves on these lovely maid servers? This guy! But Nagisa is such a shuttlecock blocker. You gotta have your Nagisas if you're Taiki and Chinatsu. But if you're this guy, that's the confidence Taiki actually needs. For Kishi, who's always fighting a losing battle with romance, he can only admire from afar and be happy if she's happy. Look at that face, a purity in intellect. She's unfortunately out of Kishi's league, but one can still hope and be brave. Chinatsu pulls up to her favorite customers and Karen asks if Chinatsu wants to see a fashion show at 2 o'clock. But we all know what's going down at 2 o'clock, and this gets Taiki nervous. Chinatsu, standing right next to Taiki, tells Karen she got plans. Taiki's heartbeat must have raced to unsafe levels, and with Karen asking if Kishi and Taiki wants to go, he gets up and runs away like a Let's be real here, who the hell's gonna run away? But a date is a date, and only those two know what's going down at that time and the location. Did he just get ghosted? It can't be, man. Just imagine back in the day when there were no cell phones and not knowing the context of these situations where things can go absolutely wrong. Taiki can't believe Chinatsu is late, and so he goes straight to the band performance as there has to be miscommunication. And so as Taiki enters, it's a Chinatsu-less room. Taiki feels like he just got dumped before anything even got started. It's a situation where dread turns to elation, and if you ever worked a shift where you have to rely on a person that's always late, that in turn makes you late, that is so damn annoying. But Chinatsu is finally here, still in her maid outfit, but with a jacket on, apologizing to Taiki. I'm sure if we were all in Taiki's position, it doesn't even matter if she's late. She's here, and that's what matters the most. So it's time to jam, and you are alone with the one and only. Hold my shuttlecock. She's being
Kawaii sugi.
the girly girl feminine energy has been flowing out of her this whole episode, except when she drops the perfect finger roll. Are we finally nearing that special climactic moment? Bro can't stop thinking about all the times he spent with her alone, and now one of her favorite songs are about to be performed, and it just so happens to be one that Karen likes to listen to when she fights with Haru. It's Chinatsu projecting what her future relationship is going to be like with Taiki. Taiki asks a blatantly obvious question like everyone doesn't already know the answer except him. But Chinatsu stares at the Taiki that's bobbing his head and inches closer to him to tell him. Lessons learned. Try not to have life-changing conversations in the middle of high decibels. Taiki, you can't just make a girl repeat herself after she showed all the courage in the world to whisper sweet goodies into your ear. They start to develop romantic sign language like not again. Guys can be so clueless sometimes, but that's our Taiki. Enjoy the moment with your maid wearing house partner. With the band finishing their performance, Chinatsu tells Taiki that she will be at his event, even though he's not going to be in it. Taiki asks about what she said earlier, but it's not like we don't already know what she whispered into his ear. Even though this moment doesn't compare to Chinatsu's birthday, it's another memorable moment within the lore of Taiki and Chinatsu. As he skips his little happy badminton butt down the hallway like nothing else can make the luckiest day of his life
go wrong.
Unless a fortune teller prophet, Nishida, says so. There is a great trial right ahead for Taiki that's gonna cause quite the drama. With a plethora of what looks to be mostly ladies, Captain Nishida may be a lot more perceptive than we think. And so you know what that means. Snow White needs a new prince, and only Taiki can be that replacement. It's another episode where it strongly skews Taiki's love meter to Chinatsu, as if it never was already over there in the first place, while the story continues to try to make it complicated with something happening between him and Hina. When you watch Blue Box, where the genius lies is in the subtlety of the learning lessons you learn from this almost love triangle. Taiki and Chinatsu are so clearly on the path to become an item, but as a viewer, we are learning how a romance affects everyone else as well. There are people that want Taiki and Chinatsu, and in the story, they are very prominent characters, with Hina being the most pivotal, and with Kishi providing that outside perspective of a guy who just realistically doesn't have a shot at the main heroine. Throughout the episode, there are smaller scenes that show all the NPCs admiring Chinatsu from afar, and one where Nagisa just straight up shuttlecock blocks. It just drives the lesson that while the MC and Chinatsu are building up towards everyone's ideal romantic situation, everyone else is going to have to adjust their own heart. With Taiki needing to replace the prince in the play, this is giving him another chance to truly face his feelings of how he truly feels about Hina and truly decide what he needs to do. Should he at least try to date Hina, or should he just tell her he's not into her? So that's where we are at in the story. And so yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Blue Box. It almost feels like the climactic point is there. We are very, very close. But there are a bunch of twists that need to happen. And so yeah, just let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Blue Box. And do me a favor guys, hit the like button if you like maids. And subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusen.com, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.